Well, I'm David. This is your best dual sport bikes channel, and we have a new president right around the corner, which for me is nice in a way because I finally feel like I can talk about getting rid of or disabling some emissions components on your KTM dirt bikes, which could lead to issues for you without getting huge fines or going to jail. So yay, let's start. Okay, pretty simple. On the 24-25 bikes, these trail bikes, which is also your XFW bike, your ES, your FEW bikes, they do and they don't have emissions that will cause you issues. They all do have an evaporative canister system. I would personally just disable that. Even if you did nothing else to your bike and you just wanted to ride it, I would do a simple disable of that system and get yourself a free breathing gas cap, and here's why. That is this canister that you see here, and it fits along this left-hand side of the tank. Now, its job is to use intake vacuum, and let me show you in this picture here, which is right down here on your intake tract. There's a bolt there with some wires going into it. Now, on your stock system, it utilizes this little spigot here, which you can take out with a deeper, long 8mm socket, and it threads out. They are not brass anymore, so it's not going to snap off. It's not like the 17-23 bikes where that could possibly happen. You can take this baby right out if you wanted to get rid of all these emissions together, and you could just simply put a 6mm by 1.0 thread, about 10mm long, bolt in it like I did, just an Allen head bolt with a little sealer on it. And the wires behind it are where I ran a separate ground wire from the battery negative up to the engine to help ground the engine. That's why those are there. What a great place to do it. But anyhow, it picks up vacuum from the engine right there, and every once in a while, you have a set of wires, I don't know where they went, around here somewhere. Oh, this plug that's right here that plugs into this evaporative canister. And what it does is it turns it on, and when it does that, that allows, it basically opens it, that allows the vacuum from the intake tract to suck any fumes that might be in the tank out of the tank, and it's supposed to create a more environmentally safe system. And it puts the fumes into a little simple plastic canister with some carbon in it up here in your front frame rail, which basically weighs nothing, and I definitely would not spend any time taking that out and, you know, blocking things off. I think that's just the silliest thing in the world. But anyhow, that's how it works, is to keep fumes from going into the air. Now, the downside to that thing is every once in a while, if it turns on and your gas tank is tilted forward and there's gas up against the gas cap, like here, let's say you're going down a hill, and let's just say that the little one-way valve in there isn't working correctly and the fuel is leaking by it, or it just happens to get by that, and the fuel starts to get into the system, which happens quite a bit. After a while, that will vacuum lock up the system and it won't be able to breathe anymore, at which point your fuel doesn't flow very well, your bike will start to stumble and idle awkward out there on the trailer and not want to start very well, and you just pull your gas cap vent line, and let me take this out. You could pull this off from your gas cap and everything would clear back up. What we're going to do is just make yourself a free breathing gas cap like every other motocross bike. Take your gas tank vent line, and I want you to pull it away from this plastic Y fitting that's right here behind your right side radiator guard. You can see it in a picture here. Now with this pulled away, you have a free breathing gas cap. You can fill the tank all the way up with fuel. You can ride all you want without having to worry about issues. Will that system still work? Yes, it will. Well, all you do is just take yourself a little rubber vacuum cap, 1/4 inch ID, and you go ahead and put it over the plastic Y fitting. That way, if it turns on, there's nothing for it to suck. It's not going to suck air in there and cause awkward running issues. The best part about that is everything has the appearance of looking stock, in case you were worried about that. That basically cost you nothing except for 45 cents for a little rubber cap. You can get it in the automotive store or Amazon or whatever. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, we have the issue of this. Your O2 sensor, which is the sensor that you see here in your pipe, where it's threaded in. Obviously, I've taken this one out. This just basically is a feedback loop. It is and isn't emissions. Its purpose is to keep the bike running at a leaner 14.7 to 1, but it's basically just a feedback loop to monitor engine performance, how things are burning, and the ECU adjusts things depending on the feedback to keep it at its 14.7 to 1, which is a bit lean for a dirt bike side. So this, before, if you unplug this thing, people would always talk about dongles. You need to put a dongle in it where you take it out, or you get these error codes on the dash. If we modify your ECU, if we reprogram your ECU, we turn all the emissions off in the ECU. So you can take all this emission stuff off, you can leave it all on. It doesn't matter, it's turned off. You don't need any dongles to plug anything off if you choose to take it off, and you won't get any codes on the bike. So you'll open up the end cap with our end cap because it looks pretty much like stock. It's free flowing, gets all the power back, gets rid of the flame outs. You take the reeds out of the intake tract. That's not against the law for anything. Put a little intake tube in the intake tract, do the ECU, emissions are turned off, and you are good to go, my friend, which is really cool because you haven't voided any kind of laws anywhere. You haven't got rid of a catalytic converter, so you've done nothing wrong there. You still have a spark arrestor, forestry approved spark arrestor. The cap looks stock. You can go into any park anywhere. People go, yeah, it's good, right? Spark arrestor stock, still relatively quiet, but sounds more like a dirt bike. The thing rips, you have performance everywhere. Your fueling and your ignition timing is perfect. Everything, the emissions still look stock. God, it really works well. So don't spend any money on delete things unless for some reason you didn't do our ECU reprogramming. Why you would not do that, I'm really not sure at this point. But hey, that's all part of it. Don't spend any more money. Now you kind of know how things work. And that's it. I have jokes to tell next time, which is going to be fun. So appreciate you watching. It's cold out. Got the fire going inside. We go edit a video, and I'm good to get back to work on fixing the fuel system problem with these things, where they don't pick up fuel through the whole tank, right? I have a fix for the XCs. It's pretty smart. Then I'm working on the other bikes. Wish me luck. I will talk to you soon, and thank you very much for watching.